Good evening, all of you. So we are here again for a topic, economic survey topic on agriculture, chapter 6, and we will go ahead and understand this. Again, this chapter is important from prelims point of view, mains point of view, and economic services point of view, all those things. And I will keep guiding you. मैं आपको बताता जाऊंगा how you can use the inputs. So survey begins by introducing that agriculture contributes approximately 20%. So actually it is 18.1% of gross value added at basic price and 16.9% of gross domestic product at market price, but employs 46% of the workforce. So automatically it becomes very important. अगर हमें inclusion करना है, food security पे ध्यान देना है. Now, sector has been showing steady growth, and we also see that there's a lot of growth in livestock, fisheries, horticulture. But then there are challenges like fragmented land holding, limited irrigation and quality inputs, low mechanization and investment, stagnating crop yields in many regions. Then there are government initiatives like Krishnoti Yojana. This is an umbrella scheme which mixes things on horticulture, mixes things on National Food Security Mission, and so on, edible oil. To improve productivity and diversification, MSP has been increased, PM Kisan income support has been given, and we will do all these things in detail as we go further. Now, there is a first they talk about the performance of the sector. अब आप देखिए, ये prelims के point of view से important है, ध्यान रखोगे, that they grew at 4.4% annually over the last 5 years. Also, the decadal growth from 16 to 25 has been approximately 4.5%. And this is one of the highest that India has seen. And it is mainly driven by the allied activities. Fisheries and aquaculture, fastest growing in agriculture, followed by livestock, followed by crop sector. यहाँ पर अगर मैं poultry डाल दूँ, अलग से, then poultry has been growing at 7.5% and dairy and cattle rearing at 6.9%. So, that is also a factor if we just bifurcate them. Then, of course, we say that the agriculture and allied sectors have been performing consistently. So, if you look at the percentage growth, it's been hovering in 6.6. Then in 2018-19, it came down drastically. 1920 again 6.2, but low base effect will have an impact here. And then we see the growth rising steadily, again backed by the allied, and then we see 23-24 and 24-25. Again 23-24 it was low because of the monsoon not being completely there all through India. It was also low because fisheries sector had their own trouble, but 24-25 we again see a decent growth. ऑल्सो ये बहुत ही इंपॉर्टेंट चार्ट है, सब ध्यान रखोगे, स्पेशली इकोनॉमिक्स ऑप्शनल और आईएएस वाले लोग. यू मस्ट कीप दिस इन माइंड. 75-76 to 84-85 agriculture grew at 3.56%, mainly pushed by green revolution and white revolution. 84-85 to 94-95 it grew at 3.19%, showing the signals that green revolution is plateauing, but yellow revolution pushed it further. 94-95 to 2004-5 was very slow, mainly because of land fragmentation playing a role, green revolution plateauing, yellow revolution plateauing. So this was a poor time for agriculture, also because a lot of policy support and policy thinking was on industrial growth, and agriculture was mainly done through subsidies, etc. And again, growth starts picking up slightly in 2004-5 to 14-15, 3.42, and then finally 14-15 to 24-25, we see some decent growth. And this shows the highest growth that India has recorded in the last decade in agriculture in the last 50 years. Then, of course, as I said, allied sector, massive growth. Livestock GVA has increased by 195%. Between 15 to 24, with 12.8% cumulative growth rate. Fish production rose by 140% in the last 10-11 years. So this is about not only farmers' income, but also employment generation. In crop production, the farm grain output reached 357 metric million tons in 2024-25. 363 MMT is the projection. We don't know the final figure yet, but is the projection for 2025-26. So that's becoming a new record when it comes to rising growth. And mainly because of rice, wheat, maize, and millets majorly. Pulses are not doing well among food grains, and new food grains like quinoa and so on are not yet very popular in growth in India. Another very interesting thing is that now in India, horticultural output is outpacing food grain output, which is a very new thing for India. पहले जनरली क्या होता था, फूड ग्रेन ज़्यादा होते थे, हॉर्टिकल्चर कम होता था. अब हमें ये देखने को मिल रहा है that horticulture output is now exceeding the food grain output on the assured amount, and 33% of agricultural GVA is horticulture. So the production was 280 million tons in 13-14, rises to 368 million tons in the last 10 years. India ranks first. Now ये prelims के लिए important है, GS में हमेशा ध्यान रखना ये सारे facts. India ranks first in dry onion production, 25% of global output, and second in fruit, vegetables, and potatoes globally. So that is again showing how agriculture is now going more towards high value livestock, fisheries, fruits, vegetables, horticulture. Then the productivity trend has been pretty average. We have done okay, but we should do much better than this. We see that India's agricultural growth exceeds the global average, but crop yields for cereals, soya beans, and pulses remain below global levels. So this is something we should be slightly worried about. The yield, the productivity should be much higher. And I've given you a table. If you compare the yield overall in kg per hectare about total cereals, total pulses, you will realize that the yields of the countries globally are something which are comparatively higher than the yield that we see in India. Groundnut, of course, is an exception. अब ये भी prelims के point of view से याद रखोगे. In groundnuts, we have much larger yield than the global yield, and that is mainly because of favorable climate. Tamil Nadu, Gujarat, parts of Madhya Pradesh, parts of Karnataka, and varieties have been improved, and the crop cycles, the sowing time, the harvesting time has been improved to improve productivity. They are made to converge with the monsoon approaching these areas and the soil productivity rising. Now, what are the things that are restricting productivity in India? So productivity constraint means क्यों इंडिया में productivity कम है global productivity के मुकाबले? Why is productivity low compared to other large economies? Even Brazil, China, I'm not even talking Europe and US. So why is our productivity low? So one is rain fed cultivation. हमारा dependence on monsoon बहुत ज़्यादा है. Second is climate shocks such as unseasonal rains, heat stress, and dry spells affecting rice yields in states like West Bengal. तो ये क्या show करता है? Low protection from climate-based fluctuation. Low protection from climate-based fluctuation. That's again a challenge. फिर क्या दिखता है? Pulses production highly climate sensitive, especially during El Nino years. That is again a challenge that, in El Nino years, we see acreages fall, the yields decrease, and that leads to challenge. On the other hand, जब La Nina years होते हैं, तो acreage production बढ़ जाता है. So that is the challenge. El Nino is when monsoon doesn't do well, La Nina is when it does well, and so on. Then the productivity improvements, if we see, Madhya Pradesh and Gujarat have achieved better pulse yields due to favorable soils and climate, plus state government support. ये पता नहीं क्यों सर्वे ने नहीं लिखा, but आपको पता होना चाहिए. State government support for procurement. So the Madhya Pradesh government and Gujarat government have done some good procurement activity when it comes to pulses and soya bean, etc. in their states, and that helps much better. Then high seed replacement rate in Gujarat promote better seed varieties. आप better seed varieties use करेंगे तो productivity बढ़ेगी. Again, this is through better information to the farmers. Better information to the farmers. And then Telangana increased cultivated area through irrigation projects like Kaleshwaram Lift Irrigation Project and Mission Kakatiya. Mission Kakatiya में क्या करते थे? जो old tanks थे, उन्हें rejuvenate किया, siltation हटाई उनके अंदर, cleanliness create किया, cracks and seepages ठीक किए, and that helped quite a bit. Then they have given us a box on state level agricultural reforms. ये case study में use कर सकते हो अपने optional के answer लिखते हुए या अपने GS paper 3 में. Even GS paper 1 में भी लिख सकते हो as case study. while writing your answer. जैसे आंध्र प्रदेश resurvey project, so they used drones, and they used the geoinformation satellites for digital land titles. They have covered more than 6,900 villages, resurveyed 81 lakh land parcels, and resolved 86,000 disputes. Similarly, in Bihar, Mukhyamantri Samiketit Chaur Vikas Yojana, and that developed 9,933 hectares of chaur land for aquaculture in 22 districts, adding to income of the farmers. This aquaculture in Bihar has contributed 6% to additional growth in agriculture. And this became possible with the survey conducted. Then marketing reforms are there, like Sauda Patrak in Madhya Pradesh, in which digital platform has been created, allowing direct MSP purchases with transparency and digital money transfer. So now there is less congestion in the mandi, and around 1 lakh transactions had happened already by December 25. So if this can be scaled up in other states, that helps. Andhra Pradesh with e-farm market, linking farmers and traders through Raitu Bharosa Kendras. So, state level people are taking initiative, and other states can learn from these states. And then if it becomes an all India initiative, we can have much better growth. Water management in Assam, the state irrigation plan, expanding the irrigation and solar pump use, and irrigated area increased to 24.28%. Uttar Pradesh groundwater rules. Now, this has been again very effective, where the groundwater extraction has been regulated, making sure that water table degeneration has been reduced. Then technology and digital agriculture. In Karnataka, they have created Fruits platform, where the farmers database has been uniformed, direct benefit transfers have been done for MSP procurement, crop survey has been done over 55 lakh farmers. In Jharkhand, there is climate smart agriculture and agri stack, where GIS based farm tracking and climate planning is being done. But this has seen limited success. The Jharkhand program has seen limited success with comparatively lesser training of the government officers involved. Then, when we look at productivity drivers, क्या करें कि productivity बढ़े? क्योंकि देखिए, land will gradually go towards industry, workers will gradually go towards industry. So how do we make sure that we get a good productivity in our area, in our agriculture? अब ये गुड प्रोडक्टिविटी का तरीका कैसे लाएं, उस पर बात करते हैं वो. तो ये सर्वे बोलते हैं कि जो की गवर्नमेंट इनिशिएटिव्स हैं, पहला नेशनल फूड सिक्योरिटी एंड न्यूट्रिशन मिशन, जिसमें इट प्रमोट्स प्रोडक्टिविटी इन राइस, व्हीट, पल्स, कोर्स सीरियल्स, कॉटन, जूट एंड शुगर केन. And the measures, now how is it promoting productivity? High yielding seeds, pest and nutrient management, pest control measures have been made very popular, water saving technologies and farmers training. तो ये 4 तरीके हैं जिससे नेशनल फूड सिक्योरिटी एंड न्यूट्रिशन मिशन में कोशिश हो रही है ऑफ इंक्रीजिंग प्रोडक्टिविटी यूजिंग हाई यील्डिंग सीड्स, पेस्ट एंड न्यूट्रिएंट मैनेजमेंट, वाटर सेविंग टेक्नोलॉजीज एंड फार्मर्स ट्रेनिंग. नेशनल मिशन ऑन एडिबल ऑयल गवर्नमेंट चला रहे हैं अभी, एंड दैट इज ऑन ऑयल पाम एंड इवन एडिबल ऑयल सीड्स. Self-sufficiency in oil seeds and palm oil, this is the target by 2030-31. Production target 70 million ton. Current production is around 43 million tons. So we are targeting to increase production by another 27 million tons in the next 5 odd years. That requires an average growth rate of approximately 40% odd or 70% odd in the next 5 years, 13 to 14% per annum. Looks challenging but achievable. Achievable है, लेकिन हमें again बहुत मेहनत करनी पड़ेगी. We will have to focus on dryland regions. We will have to focus on Bundelkhand area of Madhya Pradesh. We will have to focus on eastern Madhya Pradesh, the agricultural belt. Chhattisgarh as a factor. Apart from rice, pulses and oil seeds can be created. Rajasthan, Gujarat, Maharashtra, the belt beyond black soil. These are places where things can be made better. Then what are the results as yet? The area under oil seeds has gone up by 18%, production by 55%, productivity by 31%. ये important हो सकता है as a data point in mains exam. Very important, in IAS exam also, very important as a data point. That what has been the function, the achievement of National Food Security Mission and Nutrition Mission for oil seeds, National Mission for Edible Oil and Oil Seeds and Oil Palm. Import dependence on edible oil has fallen from 63% to 56%, but still there is decent import dependence. And oil palm is a major factor where import dependence is high. 98% of palm oil consumed in India is imported, and 60% of India's total import bill in oil seeds, edible oil, is on palm oil. So palm oil is the real place where we should be focusing. Then there is mission for Atmanirbharta in pulses. Government has already given 11,400 crore rupees this year in launching mission Atmanirbharta on pulses to raise pulse productivity and reduce import dependence. Again, how are they planning it? Assured procurement of pulses, better quality seeds in pulses, better technological input in pulses. That is how they are planning it. Then, of course, horticulture development through MIDH, horticulture cluster development program, and clean plant program. अब इसमें important क्या है? 15.6 lakh hectares added पहले से जो था उसमें add हुआ है, and productivity rising from 12.1 to 12.56 ton per hectare in the last 5 years. So these are some very decent achievements. Make a record of all this. जो पिछले slide पे है, इनका एक रिकॉर्ड बना लो, एक इनका बना लो, and you will have a good enough data point ready to show what steps have been taken and what is the result of promotion in agriculture. Then we see banana cultivation in Maharashtra and Tamil Nadu and diversification of crops in northeastern and hilly states. Ethanol policy is another thing where cropping incentives have been developed. So ethanol blending has resulted in, अब ये याद रखोगे, by August 25, ethanol blending saved 1.44 lakh crore in forex and replaced 245 lakh metric tons of crude oil. Maize ज़्यादा यूज हो रहा है इंडिया में ethanol के लिए sugar based ethanol की जगह, so we are using more has expanded from sugar based feedstock to food grains, especially maize productivity has increased in India from 2.56 to 3.78 tons per hectare in the last 10 years. That's a decent increase. It shows an increase of 40% in productivity in last 10 years. That's almost 4% increment by productivity. Now imagine that will mean that in the last 10 years, even if we use 40% less land in maize and 40% less labor, we can produce the same amount, even though the amount has been rising. But unfortunately, other crops have stagnated. Now, government has set administered ethanol prices by feedstock, and there is assured offtake by oil marketing companies, and due to that, maize has become a more popular source. Also, maize-based ethanol prices have grown faster, and due to that, again, people are choosing more maize. So, better quality price growth plus oil marketing companies' assurance to buy is shifting more people towards maize rather than sugar-based ethanol. But again, remember, we should take in mind, survey बोलते हैं आगे, that maize production area has expanded, but pulse output and acreage has declined. So rise in maize is at the cost of fall in pulses. और oil seeds और बाकी के cereals भी धीरे धीरे बढ़े हैं. तो हमें ध्यान रखना होगा that energy security लेने के चक्कर में food security compromise ना हो जाए. Because in pulses we are already an importer. We import 7 million tons of pulse per annum. Now, if we reduce the area under pulses, that won't be very good news. So we should be careful that food security concern ना आ जाए. So energy security should not create lack of food security. तो करना क्या चाहिए? That अगर हम ज़्यादा incentive देंगे maize को तो distort होगा cropping pattern. So after a point, let it become market determined. Incentives should be given for a time period. See, policy should improve productivity of pulses and oil seeds to promote their acreage. अगर आप oil seeds और पल्सेस को बढ़ाएंगे प्रोडक्टिविटी तो इनका भी एकरेज बढ़ेगा. अवॉइड एक्सेसिव प्राइस इंसेंटिव फॉर वन फीड स्टॉक लाइक मेज. किसी को ज्यादा प्राइस इंसेंटिव मिला, एवरी फार्मर विल गो इन दैट डायरेक्शन. एंड प्रमोट सेकेंड जनरेशन बायोफ्यूल्स एंड रीजन स्पेसिफिक क्रॉपिंग. सेकेंड जनरेशन बायोफ्यूल्स जब आप प्रमोट करेंगे तो अगेन पीपल विल ग्रेजुएट अपवर्ड्स, एंड जिस रीजन के लिए जो क्रॉप सूटेबल है वहाँ वही ग्रो करने दीजिए ताकि डिस्टॉर्शन ऑफ क्रॉपिंग पैटर्न वापस लौट के ना आ जाए. वी हैव ऑलरेडी सीन दैट विद ग्रीन रिवॉल्यूशन व्हीट एंड राइस टू सम एक्सटेंट क्रिएटेड दैट डिस्टॉर्शन ऑफ क्रॉपिंग पैटर्न इन इंडिया जो हम आज तक भुगत रहे हैं. सो इट इज इंपॉर्टेंट दैट लेट्स नॉट गिव परवर्स सिग्नल्स टू द मार्केट. देन what is the role of inputs? तो पहली बात तो quality seeds. अब again this is very important regarding steps taken and results achieved for doubling farmers input, farmers income. कि इसके लिए क्या स्टेप लिए गए, क्या रिजल्ट आया, उसका एक काम टाइम ये हो सकता है. क्वालिटी सीड इज वन फैक्टर ऑफ कोर्स. वहां पे दिक्कत क्या है? crop productivity बढ़ती है अच्छे seed से, but good quality seeds are lacking in India. That's one thing. Now, submission on seeds and planting material launched in 2014-15 is promoting seed production, processing, storage, and certification. तो submission on planting material, submission on seeds and planting material का क्या काम है? Promote seed production, processing of seeds, storage of seeds, and certification of good quality. 6.85 lakh seed villages have been created. ये data points again आप अगर याद रखें और कोट कर सकें तो बहुत अच्छा होगा. 1649 lakh quintals of quality seeds produced. It is still much lesser than what India needs. सर्वे पूरी बात नहीं लिख रहे, ये इंडिया के रिक्वायरमेंट का 25% भी पूरा नहीं कर रहा. And around 2.85 crore farmers have benefited, which is again less than 20% of farmers who are operational in India. So I think this is where we need to pull up our socks a little. Of course, the government in the budget has announced last year that there will be a national mission on high yielding seeds to develop climate resilient varieties and promote 100 plus new seed varieties. In fact, the work has gone on this. 109 such seed varieties have been developed across various segments in India. Now, but then, again, eastern states have not grown as much. Majorly the things have gone better in Haryana, Tamil Nadu, parts of Karnataka, Western Maharashtra. These are places where Gujarat, the non-Saurashtra region. तो जहाँ जहाँ डेवलपमेंट पहले से है वहाँ तो क्वालिटी सीड्स की तरफ जा रहे हैं फार्मर्स, और जहाँ पहले से डेवलपमेंट नहीं है वहाँ नहीं जा रहे. तो ये एक चैलेंज है जिसके ज़रूरी है कि उसे अडॉप्शन सही तरीके से किया जाए. स्पेशली द अडॉप्शन शुड बी डन इन दोज एरियाज वेयर फार्मर्स नीड इट मोर देन लेस. Then, of course, the way forward is strengthen extension services and field demonstration. Extension services means support with respect to seed quality, training regarding how to use it, how to store it, how many times do you reuse it. So that needs to be strengthened, and involve the self-help groups, farmer producer organizations, primary agricultural credit societies to make it a holistic village area event. नाउ पीएम धन धान्य कृषि योजना, ये मैं तुम्हें अलग से भी पढ़ाने वाला हूँ अभी करंट अफेयर की क्लासेस में, वहाँ पे डिटेल में करेंगे. अभी सर्वे ने इतना बताया कि डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स को सिलेक्ट किया गया है 100 एस्पिरेशनल एग्रीकल्चरल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स. अगेन इसके लिए अलग से सरकार ने बजट दिया है अराउंड 13,000 करोड़ 14,000 करोड़ का. और डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स आर सिलेक्टेड बेस्ड ऑन लो प्रोडक्टिविटी, जिस डिस्ट्रिक्ट में प्रोडक्टिविटी कम है, क्रॉपिंग इंटेंसिटी कम है, दैट इज इफ लेस नंबर ऑफ क्रॉप्स आर बीइंग सोन, इफ देयर इज मोनोकल्चर प्रैक्टिस्ड, एंड लिमिटेड क्रेडिट एक्सेस, जहां पर फार्मर्स को क्रेडिट नहीं मिल रहा ज़्यादा. सो दीज 3 लोन्स नहीं मिल रहे हैं ज़्यादा. तो ये 3 फैक्टर्स बनाए गए हैं सो दैट जैसे हमने एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स प्रोग्राम रन किया, एंड वी हैव सीन सम पॉजिटिव रिजल्ट्स इन एस्पिरेशनल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स प्रोग्राम, एस्पिरेशनल एग्रीकल्चरल डिस्ट्रिक्ट्स प्रोग्राम कैन प्ले अ सिमिलर रोल. Now, the key objectives will be to increase agricultural productivity, promote crop diversification so that people don't keep doing wheat and rice, improve post-harvest storage and irrigation to promote productivity, and to promote more marketing facility, processing facility, and to promote farmers' income by encouraging them to diversify their crops, and then expand access to farm credit so that farmers' dependence on money lenders can be reduced. Then, of course, the implementation. In implementation plan क्या है? 36 different schemes will be converging across 11 departments along with state schemes and private partnerships. Agricultural universities like CAU, SAU will act as technical knowledge partners. Again ध्यान रखोगे, इस पे मैं और पढ़ाऊंगा अभी तुम्हें, but ये भी ध्यान में रखोगे. Add to your notes another step taken to promote farmers' income by inclusive growth by targeting 100 aspirational districts. Irrigation mein normally we go with Pradhan Mantri Krishi Sinchai Yojana, and the focus is to make sure that there is per drop more crop and there is coverage is higher. What we see is under this per drop more crop, micro irrigation support is being given. 55% सब्सिडी स्मॉल और मार्जिनल फार्मर को मिलेगा और 45% सब्सिडी अदर फार्मर्स को टू सेट अप माइक्रो इरिगेशन लाइक ड्रिप एंड स्प्रिंकलर सिस्टम. हमने ये देखा दैट ग्रॉस क्रॉप्ड एरिया इरिगेटेड एरिया हैज इंक्रीज फ्रॉम 41 to 56 odd% इन द लास्ट 20 years. इनफैक्ट पिछले 10 साल में इट हैज इंक्रीज्ड फ्रॉम 43 to 56 years. सो यू नो द रियल ग्रोथ हैज हैपेंड आफ्टर द पीएम कृषि सिंचाई योजना हैज स्टार्टेड वर्किंग. बट वी अगेन सी that within crops there is huge disparity. millet less than 15% under irrigation, pulses approximately 26%, rice 67%. और ये इतना water पी जाता है, rice is one of the most water guzzling crops that India's water table starts suffering. So it is high time that we encourage our farmers to shift away from growing rice, which we grow in excess, and shift towards high value crops, weather oriented crops, agroclimatically suitable crops, so that the farmers can earn better and sustainably earn better. Then, of course, we have the तो आप समझिएगा इनपुट्स पे पहली बात क्या हुई, सीड, उसमें धन धान्य कृषि योजना की बात आई, उसके बाद बात हुई इरिगेशन, अब ये बात हुई सॉयल हेल्थ. ये सब एवरग्रीन रिवॉल्यूशन में मैंने आपको पढ़ाया था, अगर आपको याद हो. टेक्नोलॉजिकल रिफॉर्म, फोकस ऑन सॉयल, फोकस ऑन सीड, फोकस ऑन इरिगेशन. तो जब तुम आंसर लिख रहे हो और एवरग्रीन रिवॉल्यूशन की बात कर रहे हो, हाउ टू इम्प्रूव प्रोडक्टिविटी, ये इनपुट्स ऐड कर दो उस नोट्स में, एंड यू विल स्टार्ट हैविंग योर नोट सप्लीमेंटेड more robust. So, the declining soil health has been a challenge in India. We have soil health card scheme, soil health management scheme to promote balanced fertilizer use. 25.55 crore soil health cards have been issued. National soil mapping program, National One Soil Unified Information System has been created for better data for crop planning. And Soil and Land Use Survey of India has been conducted, covering 39 million hectares to provide digital soil maps. But the real challenge is huge fertilizer use in an imbalanced manner, where NPK ratio has been distorted from the ideal 4:2:1. So if you see, it was 4:3:2:1, the NPK ratio in 9-10, to 7:2.8:1, and now it is 10.9:4.1:1. In fact, some economists estimate, एक प्रोफेसर रमेश चंद बहुत ही फेमस एग्रीकल्चरल इकोनॉमिस्ट हैं, उन्होंने तो एस्टिमेट किया है that it is 13:3:1 in certain regions in Punjab and Haryana, and that is something which is even more a challenge. ये और भी ज़्यादा इसलिए है क्योंकि हम यूरिया पे सब्सिडी देते हैं जो 90% से ज़्यादा है. इससे एक्सेसिव यूज ऑफ यूरिया होता है और लोग न्यूट्रिशन की जगह जहर डाल देते हैं अपने जो सॉइल है उसमें, और सॉइल की प्रोडक्टिविटी कम हो जाती है, कार्बन कंटेंट कम हो जाता है, ह्यूमस कंटेंट कम हो जाता है. सो ओवरऑल इट बिकम्स लेस प्रोडक्टिव कंपेयर्ड टू अर्लियर. अब देखिए consequences: declining soil quality and organic matter, micronutrient depletion like calcium, sulfur, etc., groundwater contamination, and then due to leaching, and then falling fertilizer efficiency. और नतीजा क्या है, लोग फिर और फर्टिलाइजर डालते हैं सोच के कि ज़्यादा डालेंगे तो काम बनेगा, and the more fertilizer they put, worse the system begins. So government has tried using neem coated urea for preventing diversification to industrial use. Nutrient based subsidy scheme, ये हमने क्लास में किया था अगर तुम्हें याद हो, that making sure that bags are created with ratios of fertilizer and subsidy is given on the basis of nutrition rather than on flat basis. Then Aadhaar linked point of sale verification so that excessive fertilizer is not used, and integrated fertilizer management systems. Then there are other things like PM Pranam scheme, direct benefit transfers being offered, but still we need to do a long haul to make sure that agriculture does better. Survey ने दो suggestion दिए. एक, these are the suggestions. पहला, gradually increase urea prices and provide equivalent direct income support to farmers per acre. आप यूरिया प्राइस बढ़ाइए और इनकम सपोर्ट दे दीजिए ताकि फार्मर्स गुस्सा भी ना हो, लेकिन धीरे धीरे यूरिया की जगह दूसरे तरफ शिफ्ट करें. एंड ट्रांसफर कैन बी इंडेक्स्ड टू एग्रोक्लाइमेटिक जोन, क्रॉपिंग पैटर्न, एग्रोक्लाइमेटिक जोन, इनको मैप कीजिए, पता कीजिए किस एरिया में कैसे फर्टिलाइजर की जरूरत है, एंड विच एवर टाइप ऑफ फर्टिलाइजर इज नीडेड इन विच एवर टाइप ऑफ एरिया, यूज दैट रादर देन रैंडमली यूजिंग of urea only or nitrogen based fertilizer only in major sense. Also, so what we need to do is incentivize the farmers to take right decision, link their decision to crop requirement, field requirement, educate them about it, and that will help in getting better results. At the moment, our fertilizer subsidy is 1,86,000 crore, and given the war in Iran and US, we can expect it to cross 2 lakh crore this year. आप सोचिए 2 लाख करोड़ की सब्सिडी में केमिकल फर्टिलाइजर यूसेज का मतलब एक तरह से जहर दे रहे हैं हम लोगों को, वो भी सब्सिडी देकर. All right, then the outcomes expected if we improve fertilizer is soil health will improve, microbial activity will improve, organic matters will improve, water retention will be better, fertilizer efficiency will be better, environmental damage will be less, and budget expenditure can be reduced. तुम सोच के देखो, just think over it, our agriculture expenditure, only fertilizer subsidy in India, last budget की बात कर रहा हूँ, 1.86 lakh crore is what we spent, and total research and development in agriculture is 9,843 crore. This is ridiculous. I mean, we should be focusing much more on research and development in agriculture, farmers productivity enhancement. तो यहाँ से अगर 30,000 crore भी कम कर दें और यहाँ डाल दें, we can do wonders for our farmers, and that is what we should be focusing on. Now, neem coated urea experience has been positive. India's digital agricultural system can support targeted transfers, and shifting from distorted input subsidies to balanced nutrient management can protect soil health, etc. And agriculture will become sustainable and more productive. So that is what the aim should be. Farmers will earn better than what they are earning today. Some rich farmers will definitely feel sad. Some traders will feel sad because they're gaining out of it. So corrupt can be troubled. हाँ, ये जरूर है कि farmers को educate करना और convince करना important होगा. Then the next input is credit. Mind you, seed, soil, irrigation, fertilizer, credit. You know. So again, institutional credit को अगर access दें तो ज़्यादा बढ़िया होगा. Agricultural credit बढ़ा है. The disbursement was 28.9 lakh crore, mainly through regional rural banks, cooperatives, small bank finance banks, microfinance institutions, schemes like priority sector lending and lead bank scheme. तो इनके through agricultural credit दिया जा रहा है. Kisan credit card is now 7.72 crore accounts in the Kisan credit card with outstanding credit of 10.2 lakh crore. And there is modified interest subvention scheme जिसमें interest rate 7% ही देना पड़ता है farmers को, and if they pay on time then another 3% is deducted and they have to pay only 4%. Then of course 1.77 lakh crore has been disbursed under MISs between 2015 and 26. Kisan Rin portal has been developed where all records of what loans have been taken, when have they been paid back, that is kept and made sure that duplication can be avoided. So 1,080 crore in duplicate claims have been avoided. The share of informal credit sources in agriculture declined from 90% to 23.4%, but still, in fact, economic survey also says that 21% of total credit, even in 2024-25, was informal. इससे क्या होता है? Farmers' dependence on money lender remains, cost of credit remains high. So these are some challenges of informal credit. साथ में एक और दिक्कत क्या है? The regional disparities are heavy. So if you will see region-wise share in the Kisan credit card, MISS credit disbursed, central region still has decent amount of PM Kisan beneficiaries in the share of gross cropped area and then share of KCC MISS accounts. But अगर आप जाएंगे उसके बाद ईस्टर्न रीजन में things become very low, north eastern region very very low, and you see southern region the numbers are high. Why are the numbers high? The numbers are high because of major reason is that better information of the farmers, government support to the farmers. So that is something we need to work upon. Kerala and Tamil Nadu have done a very, even Telangana have done a very good job on that. Then mechanization is another thing. Capital support कैसे आप देंगे? तो एक financial support दिया जा रहा है for training and demonstration of farm machinery. For example, drone Didi scheme. Similarly, establishment of custom hiring centers, जहाँ से farmers equipment rent कर सकते हैं and they don't have to spend entirely on capital goods. And then loan assistance, hire purchase system for agricultural machinery. We see 25,689 custom hiring centers between 15 and 26, and 558 were added in 25-26 alone. So now government is focusing more on capital equipment development, क्योंकि ये देखा गया है इंडिया में कि जब भी whenever we have seen high capital investment, जब भी agriculture में investment बढ़ा है, agricultural growth rate बढ़ा है. So the last 10 years again the investment in agriculture has gone up. It is now around 20% of agricultural GDP, and that is showing some good growth prospects in Indian agriculture. But what are the challenges? First of all, fragmented land holdings, which means high-level mechanization cannot be done. Labor force is not trained, so that is again a challenge. Now, what to do? Small-scale machinery should be used. Research and development should be focused upon. And develop FPOs, credit cooperative societies, so that combined ownership happens and people can do better. अब टेक्नोलॉजी एंड इनपुट सपोर्ट अगर हम देखें लाइफ स्टॉक फिशरीज और एक्वाकल्चर में, तो गवर्नमेंट के बहुत सारे प्रोग्राम्स हैं, जैसे फुट एंड माउथ डिजीज कंट्रोल प्रोग्राम. गवर्नमेंट प्रोविजन 500 crore rupees for it between 2021 to 25. Then large scale vaccination and digital animal identification. This is livestock development program. Another 500 crore was given to this. Vaccinations have been administered, 125 crore. Then artificial insemination program, where annual artificial insemination has increased quite correspondingly, and that has resulted in high productivity of bovines in India. Challenges क्या हैं? Challenges हैं, पहला feed and fodder shortages and rising fodder cost, because area covered under fodder cultivation has not increased considerably. So milk production cost rises, fodder cost rises, animal rearing cost rises due to that. Then, see, fodder crops cover only 4.6% of gross cropped area, leading to supply gaps. 11 to 32% gap है green fodder में, 23% dry fodder में, 28 to 40% in concentrates. इसीलिए जब लोग कहते हैं कि हम अमेरिका से fodder क्यों import कर रहे हैं, तो क्या करें भाई, जानवरों को भूखा मार दें, ये तो नहीं कर सकते. तो अमेरिका से import करें या यूरोप से करें या चाइना से करें या खुद प्रोड्यूस करें, जो DGSS है, ड्राई ग्रेन डिस्टिलरी ड्राइड ग्रेन सिस्टम. तो अगर हम नहीं करेंगे import, कैसे काम चलेगा? So we need to make sure India becomes self-sufficient in this. Farmers are incentivized to grow good quality fodder, green fodder especially, and that will help in getting farmers extra money, especially during lean seasons. They can do that. On wasteland, it can be done better, and that will help in better cattle rearing and good quality productivity of capital also. Then of course फिशरीज में हमने प्रधानमंत्री मत्स्य किसान समृद्धि सही योजना शुरू किया और प्रधानमंत्री मत्स्य संपदा योजना शुरू किया. PM मत्स्य संपदा योजना is for credit and productivity enhancement, and किसान समृद्धि सही योजना is for financial and technological improvements in fisheries. इसमें हम ये देखते हैं that गवर्नमेंट ने सबसे पहले अगर बात करें फिशरीज में, तो न्यूक्लियस ब्रीडिंग सेंटर्स डेवलप की, genetic quality of aquaculture species better की, shrimp boosting productivity and exports, and today 4.6 lakh farmers in fisheries are under Kisan credit card. 43 lakh farmers in dairy are with Kisan credit card. So we see some good progress in credit support there. Then of course agricultural marketing infrastructure sub scheme में गवर्नमेंट ने क्या किया है, 49,796 स्टोरेज प्रोजेक्ट्स एंड 25,000 मार्केटिंग इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर प्रोजेक्ट्स हैव बीन सैंक्शनड. बट वी नीड टू गो अ लॉन्ग डिस्टेंस हियर. हमारी एग्रीकल्चरल सप्लाई साइड का ये एक वीक लिंक है, मार्केटिंग प्रोसेसिंग यूनिट्स. जब तक हम इसको स्ट्रॉन्ग नहीं करेंगे, देयर विल बी चैलेंजेस. एग्रीकल्चर इंफ्रास्ट्रक्चर फंड में 1 लाख करोड़ टारगेटेड था. 1.23 लाख करोड़ वर्थ ऑफ प्रोजेक्ट्स आर ऑलरेडी इन ऑपरेशन, कोल्ड स्टोरेजेस, वेयर हाउसेज, प्रोसेसिंग यूनिट्स एंड सो ऑन. Then of course digital marketing is something government has been working on, like ENAM, a pan-Indian digital market. अब data क्या याद रखोगे, 1.79 crore farmers covered, 4698 FPOs covered, and 1522 mandis connected. This is still very low. Farmer producer organization develop किए जा रहे हैं. 9700 FPOs are already established in India. It is expected we will cross 10,000 this year. Digital agricultural mission has been developed for agri-stack development, all data at one point for informed agriculture. Then of course animal husbandry infrastructure development fund, again 1,500 crore has been given for that, to make sure there is dairy processing, feed manufacturing and breed improvement done with R&D support given to dairy sector. Fisheries, I just told you, Matsya Sampada and Matsya Kisan Samriddhi Sahi Yojana. 2195 fishery producer organizations have also been established, and digital platform support has been given to fisher people. As I told you, 4.4 lakh fishers with insurance coverage and 7.44 lakh fisher families during lean period are getting this support. And again, 4.5 lakh fisher people, approximately 4.4 lakh, are with Kisan credit card. But our processing capacity in fisheries is still weak, and dairying also. Value addition capacity is weak. Cold chain and logistic gaps persist. And then, so we need better aquatic and health and biosecurity system, especially for inland fisheries. Our inland fishery aquaculture has not been able to develop itself the way we would have liked it to. अब सरकार कहते हैं कि हम कृषि विज्ञान केंद्रास बना रहे हैं in institutional support. Agricultural universities, private firms been developed, and submission on agricultural extension under Krishnoti Yojana strengthens extension systems. इसमें agricultural technology management agency को develop किया गया है training demonstration देने को. So again ये सारी चीजें तुम लिख सकते हो as steps for extension support. ये अपने आंसर में include कर लेना about again doubling farmers' income. देन बट इनके कवरेज अभी भी बहुत कम है. आप देखिए 39 लाख फार्मर्स benefited under this, but India has more than 18 crore farmers. So this is not something which someone can believe is a large number. Then of course डिप्लोमा इन एग्रीकल्चरल एक्सटेंशन सर्विसेज फॉर इनपुट डीलर्स प्रोग्राम लॉन्च किया गया है ताकि जो इनपुट डीलर्स हैं वो उनको एक्सपर्टीज मिले, वो फार्मर्स को सही गाइड कर पाए और प्रोडक्टिविटी बढ़ पाए. Around 1 lakh people have been trained till October 25, but it is important that they are scaled up in a bigger sense. Kisan call centers in 22 languages have been established. Again, information has to be spread as much as possible. Then when it comes to price and income support, I've given you a data point where MSP has increased practically every year in most of the crops. There is massive increase in arhar, moong, urad, groundnut, etc., where MSP has increased by a larger value compared to wheat and paddy, where government is deliberately trying to let the increase remain low to take farmers towards other crops. Now, 1.5 times the cost government is already giving the farmers, and under PM Kisan further 4.09 lakh crore have been released. Pension scheme has been introduced for small and marginal farmers as Kisan Man Dhan Yojana, and 24 lakh farmers are already enrolled. But again, this is a very small number. This needs to go up much faster so that actual poor farmers who are crores in number can get supported in pension funds through these schemes. Now, how do we reform food grain production, procurement, and promote crop diversification? First is to promote food security. Wheat and rice has exceeded food security needs. तो wheat और rice को कम करना जरूरी है. अब किसको बढ़ाना जरूरी है? Pulses and edible oils. We are less than our requirement here. तो अब सर्वे प्रपोज करते हैं. One, instead of reducing MSP or procurement, use savings from lower excess stock management to encourage voluntary crop diversification. सरकार excess stock खरीदना छोड़ दे. If government will stop buying excess stock, procurement cost, transportation cost, storage cost, milling cost will be saved, and that money can be used for crop diversification. Then pulses and oil seeds can be focused upon. Maize can be focused upon, and eastern and central India can be focused for initial development because the agroclimatic region is more suitable. Then farmer की income protection का क्या तरीका है? That farmer को आप बोलिए, you transition from one crop to another, and whatever income loss you will have, we will compensate you for the first 5 years. So that will give the farmers incentive to transition from one crop to another. Also, input costs should be lesser for agroclimatically suitable crop and stop giving large amount of water subsidy, fertilizer subsidy, etc. Rather make them based on productivity than amount. Then institutional support will help, that central state can partner together and diversify their missions. Gradual shift from physical procurement to market-based support, जैसे हम पढ़ते थे about भावांतर भुगतान योजना कि प्राइस डिफिशियंसी पेमेंट कीजिए, बोनसेस दीजिए फार्मर को. टेल देम दैट इफ यू ग्रो ऑयल सीड्स यू विल गेट मोर बोनस. वी विल परचेज योर क्रॉप इफ इट इज पल्सेस, इफ इट इज फ्रूट्स, vegetables, and that we can use things like NAFED and SAFED, and that can go a long way in making sure that there is enough investment in oil seed, pulse, maize. तो processing पे ध्यान दें, marketing पे ध्यान दें, storage पे ध्यान दें. Gradually the farmers will change their habit. और rice पे जो excessive subsidy पंजाब जैसे states में दी जाती है उसको कम करें. Farmers हद से ज़्यादा dependent हो गए हैं और वो एक पूरा lobby बन जाता है. Then of course, how to maintain safeguards? Maintain buffer stocks and food security safeguards. Implement reforms gradually and convince the farmers rather than bulldozing them. Also, WTO compatibility should be ensured so that we don't have a future roadblock. And then use procurement savings to promote crop diversification. Will raise farmer, ये benefits हैं, क्या क्या मिलेगा? Fiscal burden कम, farmer income ज़्यादा, import dependence reduced, and Indian agriculture will be more sustainable and market oriented. Then crop insurance support is another thing government is bringing up, the Fasal Bima Yojana. Good news is that now 4.19 crore farmers are insured in 24-25. The number was 3.2 crore 1 year back. So more than 1 crore farmers are almost now included in it, a 32% increase on the number. 6.2 crore hectares are now covered. Since 16-17, 86 crore applications have been processed in last 10 years and 1.9 lakh crore claims have been paid via PFMS. In fact, also more than 7 lakh crore rupees worth of crops have been brought under insurance of one type or the other. Then DigiClaim module has been introduced so that delays are avoided. National Crop Insurance Portal has been created for a centralized data platform. Then yield estimation technology has been introduced for quick yield estimation. And WINDS program for automatic weather stations have been created for faster reporting. तो किसान को जल्दी yield estimation मिल जाएगा, इंश्योरेंस कंपनी तक जल्दी रिपोर्ट पहुंच जाएगी और नुकसान के केस में कंपनसेशन जल्दी पहुंच जाएगा किसान तक थ्रू डायरेक्ट बेनिफिट ट्रांसफर्स. Cooperatives have been another target area for government. Now the government goes for a model bylaw which allows not only intrastate cooperative but also interstate cooperative, allows them to expand, and government has also targeted to computerize more than 67,000 primary agricultural credit societies. So that is again something. See, 67,930 PSES have been computerized, 54,150 PSES integrated with ERP systems. So these are on cooperative development in agriculture. Of course, 18,183 multi-purpose cooperatives are now registered. These data you should keep in mind for quoting in the mains exam. And PSC is being developed as local storage hub also. Seed storage bhi karte hain ye, crop storage bhi karte hain. So farmers' productivity can grow in the process. And then how to promote sustainable agriculture? Crop diversification program under Rashtriya Krishi Vikas Yojana, Paramparagat Krishi Vikas Yojana, under which we are promoting natural farming and organic farming, Mission Organic Value Chain Development for Northeastern region, under which government has already given more than 2,000 crore to encourage farmers to shift to organic crops, and then Bharatiya Krishi Paddhati and National Mission on Natural Farming with a 2,400 crore budget. So government is gradually trying to shift farmers away from chemical inputs towards organic and non-chemical inputs. So under National Mission for Natural Farming, 17,000 plus clusters covering 6.3 lakh hectares are now covered, 15.79 lakh farmers enrolled, 32,000 community resource persons trained, and 3,500 bio-research centers established. Isme important ye hai that this is only 1 year old program. So that is why it is giving some good traction. If we can go in right direction, this can be a game changer. Challenges are that still very small share of land is cultivated under these things, and farmers themselves are not trusting it much. Quality inputs are missing. Inertia of habit comes in, changes. So this is the challenge we see here. Food processing, of course, has been growing tremendously in India. 12.9% of employment of manufacturing is in food processing. $49 billion worth of exports we could do, including food processing exports. Kisan Sampada Yojana, developing processing infrastructure and procurement from the farmers. Primary sectors, center for processing, then secondary center for processing, then big center for processing. So all that gives us good farm to market supply chain. PLI scheme has been introduced for food processing with 9,200 crore worth of investment supported. And PM formalization of micro food processing enterprises has been introduced to support micro enterprises with finance, training, and technical assistance. 4.04 lakh applications have been sent to the banks. 1.7 lakh loans have been sanctioned. More than 14,000 crore loans have been sanctioned. फायदा क्या होगा? Post harvest losses कम होंगे. एग्रीकल्चरल वैल्यू चेन बेटर एस्टैब्लिश होगा, एम्प्लॉयमेंट ज़्यादा जनरेट होगी, वेस्टेजेस कम होंगे. सो दिस इज समथिंग विच विल हेल्प अस इन प्रमोटिंग एग्रीकल्चरल प्रोडक्टिविटी क्वाइट अ बिट. Then, of course, the National Food Security Act focuses on food security framework, covering 81 crore beneficiaries. Also, there is procurement of wheat, rice, and coarse cereals directly from farmers. And some states like Madhya Pradesh, Gujarat, etc., procure wheat, pulses, oil seeds also directly from the farmers. In the recent days, we have introduced fortified food distribution for improving nutrition, like iron fortified rice introduced, Aadhaar-based deduplication, one nation, one ration card, so that duplication doesn't happen, but people are not deprived, and DBT and digital platforms for ट्रांसपेरेंसी. ये recent reforms हैं in food procurement. अपने PDS के notes में इसको add कर सकते हो. Then additional initiatives are PM Garib Kalyan Ann Yojana, which we already know, free food grains for up to 5 kg, and credit guarantee scheme for electronic national warehouse receipts based pledge financing, कि फार्मर जो वेयर हाउस में सामान रखते हैं उस पर उन्हें क्रेडिट मिल जाए एज कोलैटरल. Then technology driven reforms में One Nation One Ration Card implemented across all 36 states covers 80 crore NFSA beneficiaries and allows portability of ration benefits. DBT is now touching 267.6 crore with 10 lakh beneficiaries and Aadhaar integration for 99.8 ration card. 99.6% of fair price shops are now equipped with point of sale machines. These are good progresses we are seeing in agriculture in India. Of course, government is targeting with databases as CBDT, GSTN, तो इससे बेटर टारगेटिंग हो पाती है कि कहाँ पर लोग प्रोक्योरमेंट ज़्यादा कर रहे हैं, कहाँ पे कम कर रहे हैं, कहाँ किस तरह के क्रॉप की ज़्यादा ज़रूरत है. दैट इज़ अगेन अ गुड फैक्टर. Anna Chakra system has been introduced for food grain logistics for quick reporting, travel and transport support, weightage, weighing and storage support, and that has helped in better tracking system. GPS लगा दिए गए हैं vehicle में so that siphoning out of grains can be restricted. Then, in conclusion, survey says that agriculture is central to Viksit Bharat because majority of our people are in farming and in rural areas. Production is expanding in allied activities. Cooperatives and FPOs have improved farmers' access to credit, technology, and market. Digital initiatives have done better for market access of farmers. But climate change, one challenge. Water scarcity, another challenge. Small land holdings, third challenge by fragmentation, and productivity gaps and weak market integration, fourth and fifth challenge. ये challenges हैं हमारे agriculture में. I always have a suggestion. The way we have a GST council, we should have a national agricultural council where agricultural ministers of all states and central agricultural minister can sit together, and it can be a nodal body for India-based planning. Then Tamil Nadu and Kerala won't have to grow rice. They are very developed states to do that. Punjab doesn't have to grow rice, and these states can grow high-value crops. And the lesser better off states like Assam, Bihar, Bengal, etc., can keep supporting India with rice, and states can decide their inter-procurement. And that way, India will grow different layers of agricultural productivity. Also, the states can come together, develop food processing centers, textile units, sugar units, and that will allow pan-India development with a larger market, and that economies of scale will promote export promotion. Only then our farmers will be better off. Along with that, reduce the number of people in agriculture by promoting skill development, rural industrialization, and alternative income opportunities through allied activities, integrated farming. If we can do that, agriculture does far better than what it is doing today. So, with that, we come to an end of our discussion. Thank you. God bless you all. Keep supporting. Bye-bye from my side.